like that.
Right. And one of my staff persons told me one day. Her name is Joanna Bruce. She said, "You want everything perfect. Everything is not perfect." And I thought about that. It just checked me. And you can't make everything perfect, but you can achieve excellence. And so that's what I did. So, I started this so I retired after 40 years in the federal government. And it was the first time.
One of my biggest obstacles, really getting the whole business concept down. When being a new business owner and starting out, you kind of got some loopholes, and you got some challenges, and you have some things that you're just learning out. So really being able to understand the dynamics and the scope of actually how to run a business efficiently, I would say initially was one of my biggest.
Hello, happy Monday, everyone. It's your girl, Coach Kellie, and I'm so excited to just announce that today is an awesome day. I'm reading this amazing book, and it's talking about living in the now, just having a celebration of life, and just everything that you embody as a human being. A lot of times we live for these esoteric moments of success when today is an amazing day just because we woke up. And so this week was very challenging for me, and I'm very transparent. And just to be quite frank, I didn't want to do anything last week. I didn't want to be a mom. I didn't want to be a wife. I didn't want to be a girl, Coach Kellie. I just wanted to just be. I just wanted to just pull the covers over my face and just rest. Oftentimes we take our body through so many things. We push it to the limit. We keep telling ourselves that we got to get there. We got to do it. And a lot of times we don't know that we're not living in the moment. We're not living intentional. And sometimes it can just be a challenge. And so many of you may not know, but being in this lane of purpose, there's constantly daggers coming in your direction. There's constant things that just come in to just kind of push you off course. And so this week, I just really had a challenge. My head was bothering me. I ended up at urgent care, and I just did not feel like doing anything. And so I just had so many different voices just around me, a lot of negativity this week. And I went straight to the Bible, and I read this amazing story about King David. We all know King David. King David is the awesome man of God. He's this warrior. He, faced this giant. He birthed the richest man who ever lived, who was Solomon. But if you don't know, if you hadn't read in his previous time before he was even chosen, he was what you would call the runt of the litter. His father actually picked over him, and he was kind of like in eighth place. And so many of us can, and I'm bringing it to myself because I felt like at one point I was in eighth place. At one point I didn't believe that I was a winner. I didn't believe that I was intentionally called to where I am today. And I laughed because as I'm reading the story, I was like, wow, I never knew that David was not the apple of his father's eye. I mean, he wasn't even, his father really just downplayed everything he did. But Samuel said, no, every time he brought him and we do this, when God calls us to stuff, we filter it through our intellect. We filter it through our age. We filter it to what we did back in the day. Like, oh, God couldn't have called me because did he not know that I did this back in the day? And so his father kept saying, well, did you consider this son? And the guy kept saying, no, that's not the one. And then when he brought all of his sons to Samuel, he said, it's somebody else. It's somebody else in it. His father was Jesse. And he said, it's somebody else. And when he brought him David, but he didn't really want to bring him David because David wasn't, he didn't consider David to be the material that, or he didn't seem to be the fly guy, the overachiever, the person who we might consider. He wasn't that person. But when Samuel saw him, he says, "That's the one. That's the chosen one." And so what it really ministered to me, it basically silenced all the voices that I went through this week. Just all of the things that I was going through just to be here today. I was in urgent care today. I wasn't feeling well, and it just was a challenge. And I said to myself, I says, well, I may not be, and I had to come to that. I had to come to that because when the voices are around you and the nuances and the every time you get negative comments or distractions, you have to consider yourself and say that I may not be the apple of the eye, but I am chosen. And so on today, we're talking about living this purpose-driven life, whether you want to or not, because when God chooses you, he is going to chase you. And not only will he chase you, he will make you an expert in what he calls you to. And so I remember, and I always tell this story about myself, how I didn't always like my voice, and I thought that my voice was squeaky, and I thought that I had a big nose, and I was like, well, I didn't go to college, university. I had all of these excuses as to why I can't be Coach Kellie. And not only did I have those voices from the enemy, I had actual people saying, what are you doing? Who is Coach Kellie? Do you think that you should do this or whatever? But it's so amazing to me that when you get to the point where you understand that you're chosen, when you get to the point of understanding who you are and whose you are and who you're called to be, there's nothing that can stop you. There's no nuances that can stop you. There's no situations that can come in and cause you to not be who you are called to be. And so today it's going to be an awesome show. God is epic. God is full of surprises. I was just recently on a Facebook Live with the bishop, Pastor Dante King, who I follow on social media. And I was listening to him just last week, and he was talking about forgiveness and forgiving yourself and forgiving who you was, and having this understanding of, people, they're going to say things. They're going to say things that you may even believe in yourself. Like, you may be too short to do that. You may be too old to do that. And in yourself, you feel that way, But one of the things that he said, and it just brings right back to David and his father. His heavenly father trumped what his own father said. Right? So the natural father may remind you of things that you've done in your past, but your heavenly father would trump that and call you anyway. And so it was just amazing to me because I was dealing with some unforgiveness, and I had to keep seeing this person over and over again. And it was so amazing that when I went on Facebook that day, that the bishop was talking about forgiveness, and I immediately tuned everything out because I said, Lord, you're talking directly to me. And so I think that it's so amazing that he's here today. I just think that it's just absolutely amazing. I believe that God is intentional. There's no mistakes. God is all up in purpose and all up in our business on today. So I can't wait, but we're going to be right back after this commercial.
Hello everyone, it's your girl Coach Kellie from the Coach Kellie Speaks Talk Show. I'm here to talk about my brand new book, the 30-Day, 30-Minute Visionary Journal, Awakening the Finisher Within. I wrote this book because I wanted to inspire other people to be finishers in their own personal journey of business and everyday life. So writing this book has really helped me to organize my thoughts a lot better. And it has also just made me look at things different and not put so much pressure on myself, because before I would try to compile so much information in at one time, but now it has slowed my pace down a lot, and I'm able to really plan things out in a 30-day, in a 30-minute manner. And so I think that now, with different projects that I'm working on, I feel that I'm a little more confident in what it is that I'm doing because I've actually planned it out better.
So I hope that people who get this book will have a deeper appreciation for, number one, who they are, what they've been called to, and the people group that they've been called to as well. I also want people to have a clear and step-by-step guide to how to fight against fear and procrastination. I hope that this book will help you to win in each and every level of your life, each and every area of your life. I want this book to change the way you see yourself. When you look yourself in a mirror, that you won't see yourself through the eyes of fear, but that you'll see yourself through the eyes of faith, knowing that you are a finisher and that you will finish each and every project that you put your hands on. I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you, gracias, because without you, I would not be able to do what I do, what I love every day, from styling my clients to the boutique, and now my new show, the Coach Kellie Speaks Talk Show. This has been an exciting journey for me. I'm inspired by each and every last one of your comments, how you share my posts, going on to YouTube, leaving comments, just all of that just warms my heart every time I read it. And so I wanted to just let you know that you can buy my book on my website at www.coachkelliespeaks.net. Thank you again for tuning in, and I love you guys so much. Thanks.
Hello, we are back and live with none other Bishop. I call him Bishop Dante.
Far too kind.
Dante King.
Bless you.
Thank you so much for being on the show. This is a privilege and an honor to be sitting with this general of God.
No, I'm honored and humbled to be on your show. So now I can go to heaven. One of the prerequisites of going to heaven was to be on your show. And so now heaven belongs to me. So I'm honored to be here.
Absolutely. And so you have been doing this amazing series on forgiveness.
Yes.
I mean, what made you just come up with that?
First of all, I'm too flawed to be flashy, so I believe in transparency. There was a situation I had to deal with forgiveness. One was my mother. I grew up, my mother was a heroin addict. She's clean today, and the other one, I didn't know my father. And so for years, I operated with a facade that everything was okay, but I carried the baggage of unforgiveness. And then one day the Lord just said, share it. It's going to liberate and free some people when they hear your story. And so we just went on a journey for 3 weeks about forgiveness. And I'm honored as you even listened and you shared it. But it was a personal journey. It was self-therapy, and everyone happened to listen.
Yeah, it was very, very therapeutic. As I said, I shared it. I went back to the salon and we had a conversation.
Wow.
I was with my sister girl cousins last Friday, and we talked about forgiveness. And so it was just a great conversation piece to start, because there are a lot of people that are immobilized by unforgiveness.
Absolutely.
And they're not moving into their purpose.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Forgiveness is one of those kind of things that keep you stuck. And forgiveness is kind of crazy because you're trying to hurt someone, and in actuality, you're hurting yourself. And so forgiveness is, the Bible talks about the root of bitterness, and unforgiveness will lead to bitterness. And bitterness will poison your whole life by remaining bitter at people who've gone on with their life.
Wow.
I mean, he got another boo.
Yeah.
He got another boo, and you still stuck on him, and or they promoted someone else. So forgiveness actually frees yourself.
Yeah. And I like how you talked about what happens when someone just won't forgive you.
Wow, I think that's really tough when you extend the olive branch, but they have nothing in their heart, no remorse of what they've done, and they just refuse to forgive you. It's difficult, but once you've done your part, you can't make anyone to forgive you, unfortunately. All you can do is extend the olive branch and try to make peace with them, and if they don't, the Bible says, if any man be ignorant, let him be ignorant. So people have the biblical right to be dumb.
Wow.
That's Bible, y'all.
That's a tweet right there. Really, because we can carry those carry that baggage. And like you said, people are moving on with their life.
Absolutely.
They're all the way gone. And I know you had mentioned some things about just forgiving yourself.
That's the biggest thing. You can forgive people. and people can forgive you, but if you don't forgive yourself, it's impossible. You said something earlier about going in your now, living in your now, but forgiving yourself is the ability, I call it, to be able to stand in your now and see your next.
Wow.
You should be able to live in now what I call next eyes. And when you forgive yourself, it gives you the next eyes to see what's next while you're living in your now.
Wow. Powerful. I mean, I think that is just so, so powerful because I know for a fact most people get stuck in, and I talked about it. I talked about David. I talked about his dad, and how his dad didn't choose him, and how his dad overlooked him. And people have been literally in that situation where God has allowed them to be hidden, for a season. And if you don't have that wholeness within God, you can almost allow that to be the very thing that will prevent you from moving forward.
Yes, that's amazing. You mentioned David. David's story is unique because a lot of us can relate to David. Most people say, I was born in sin and shaped in iniquity. But that's not what the scripture says. It says, behold, I was born in iniquity, and in sin that my mother conceived me. And so David's pregnant. So David's mother was actually a concubine. So David was illegitimate. He shouldn't have been the king.
Wow.
He wasn't educated, like you said. He was in the field. So David, he wasn't qualified to be the king. But isn't it how God would skip over people that's qualified to get to somebody that's unqualified to do a job that he's only qualified to do? And so it's amazing. And David had to forgive people all over his life. He had to forgive his mother, his father, and those who overlooked him. But God will use the overlooked to do a work for him.
Yeah,
every time.
That is so powerful because, as I said, a lot of times God will tell us to do stuff. It's like God would say, I called you to global ministry, and you don't have a passport.
Oh, Kellie, say that. God has a sense of humor.
Hold on, wait a minute. So
God has a
you
sense
told
of
me I'm
humor.
gonna have an international ministry, and I got $25 in my bank account. So what would you say to that person who just feels overlooked?
I will say this to the person who feels overlooked. I live by this ever since I was a little child. Don't worry about the money. Don't worry about the people. Don't worry about the support. Make sure you have a passion. If you can remember anything, remember that passion is permission to pursue your purpose.
Say that again.
Passion is permission to pursue your purpose.
Wow.
Because anything you do with passion, it takes the work out of it. Like you do this television, you do this show right here, it's your passion. It's not work. Now, if you have a 9-to-5 that you hate going there, that's a job. You don't have a passion for it. You just want to go to the work and just, kick in the door and wave the 4-4. But when you have a passion for it, it's permission to do it. So don't worry about the money. The money will come. The support will come. But make sure you have a passion for it. So don't feel overlooked. Just keep your passion going. Because one day your passion is going to meet opportunity and birth purpose.
Wow. That was good groceries right there. So what caused you, because you have this boldness, you walk in this way, you walk in this boldness, when you say something, it is what it is,
Yes.
how, because your church is forward. What
Church.
made you choose that?
I pastored a church called Greater Mount Zion for years, but God said, behold, I'm doing a new thing. And he said, walk forward, do something different. And so the boldness comes from the fact that I didn't grow up in church. The Lord delivered me from being a drug dealer. I played in the go-go band for years. Started Obsession go-go band. I used to actually go to the Madness shop on George Avenue to get my Madness hat, which I still own, by the way. And so, but the boldness comes from just doing the work for the Lord. And I told God, the same effort I gave the enemy, the same effort I gave the go-go band, the same effort I used in the selling bricks, I'm going to use for you. And so God gave me a Holy Ghost boldness to take that same energy, but use it for him.
Wow. Awesome. I did not know that.
That's my testimony. I tell it all the time.
Every day, but that for me, it just fused just a new level because when you get comfortable and you get comfortable in where you was, and God began to try to pull you forward and pull you out, my question is, what was that moment that you knew, like you knew your name, that you were called to be in the ministry?
Wow, my grandmother prophesied it over me when I was young, 7 years old, and I just went the opposite direction. I knew I was called when I saw problems that no one wanted to address. I saw young people not coming to church or being disrespected or being judged by what they had on, or if they had tattoos or they looked differently, and the church wanted to change them. When the only thing that can change you is God. And so I saw a passion for hurting people who just wanted a relationship that were tired of religion. And so that was my call right there, because I could relate to people like that. And I knew God called me to do something different, to show people that you can have a relationship with God and you don't have to be over religious, because God is looking for spiritual fruit and not just a bunch of nuts.
Wow, that is amazing. And so, what was your most teachable moment so far?
Wow, that's a good question. I would say my most teachable moment when I was in ministry, I'm not going to mention the church, I was fellowshipping, and I was comfortable, like you said, and I was complacent. I was successful, but I realized that comfortability and complacency and being successful is anesthesia. It actually puts you to sleep and keep you from doing what you're supposed to do. So I had a moment that I had to unplug the anesthesia. I had to take the plug out of my vein and say, I need to wake up. And I woke up and realized that God had more for me to do. And so he made the situation uncomfortable for me. And he made it that I knew there was something more, there was something burning that I had to do. So I didn't allow comfortability to be that anesthesia to put me to sleep.
I mean, wow. I never thought about it that way. I mean, but if I can correlate it to something, it's like The Walking Dead.
Yes,
folks
absolutely.
that just walking around, they're not in consciousness. They're not in the now. They're actually numb.
That's good.
A lot of people just walking
That's
around
good.
numb. They've been through so much, struggle. They've been through so many different things that they're not dreaming anymore.
Absolutely.
They go to work,
Absolutely.
they go to home, and some even go to church, and they never have any movement.
None at all.
Whatsoever.
None at all.
And so what would you say to a person who has been hurt? Church hurt, that's a topic.
That's a good question.
That a lot of people, they've been hurt. They've been to church. They've been hurt. What would you tell that person?
To the person that's been hurt, I would say you have to acknowledge the pain. Pain is a teacher. Pain, I learned my greatest lessons through pain. My grandmother would tell me, don't touch that, and I would touch it, it would hurt. But next time I went to the stove, I remember the pain of it. And so hurt can actually be a benefit if you allow the pain to teach you a lesson. There's some things I learned that I'll never do again. There's certain places you'll go, you'll never go again. If he hurt you that bad, the next person come around with Gucci cologne, you'll never date him again. Because the pain of that experience. So allow the hurt to be a teacher and not allow the hurt to be a prison. Most time people let hurt become a prison. Most time people allow hurt to be a prison opposed to a teacher. So your hurt can be a teacher or a warden. It's up to you.
Wow. Awesome. I mean, I'm ready to run down Georgia Avenue. I mean, it's just so good. And it's just good groceries. I mean, it's steak right now. We eat steak and potatoes right now. But how do you keep your authenticity in this? Because I don't want to say the church world, but your authenticity is everything. So how do you keep that? I'm
just real. I realize that, like I said earlier, I'm too flawed to be flashy. It's only by the grace of God that I am what I am. So I can't get arrogant, because God doesn't need Dante King. God could raise up anyone else. So I'm just humbled that he chose me. So the authenticity comes from the fact that I realize where I came from, and I realize who's in control, and I realize that everything I have, I owe to him. And I'm just a vessel being used by him. The glory goes to God and not on me.
Yeah, that's awesome, because when you said that, I'm too flashy, to even be braggadocious, because I know my flaws.
Absolutely.
And so that keeps you humble.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. And so how did you turn your pain into your purpose?
Well, I turned my pain into my purpose because I never wanted anyone to feel what I felt. Being raised without a father, my mother being a drug addict, I never wanted anyone, my children, or anybody else to feel that kind of pain. And so I said, if I can be a conduit of help, if I can be a conduit to allow someone else to bridge that gap, that's what I wanted to do. So I allowed my pain, as once I said earlier, to fuel my purpose and my passion to help other people, especially men in particular, not to get too ethnic, but especially African-American men. A lot of us need that help from someone who's been there, done that. And they can feel the authenticity. They know when you fake. They come to your church, they know you still fake. You still talking about smoking grass. Anybody smoking grass? They're smoking gas. They know you fake. So it's just about being real and real to your audience.
Yeah, that's awesome. And so just thinking about so many men that are hurting, what do you do when the men come to you and, they going through and they can't forgive themselves? Mm-hmm. What do you tell them?
First thing I tell men that can't forgive themselves is, first of all, this place you take off the cape. You don't got to be Superman. You don't got to be a hero here. You can just be Clark Kent. Put your glasses on. Let's have a real conversation. Because every man, the Bible talks about the man that was in the garden of Gethsemane and cried all night long. But the question is, who hears the cries of men? When men cry, who really listens to them? So it takes another man saying, listen, you don't got to be Superman. You can be just you. We can just call you by you. You don't got to be Bishop, Pastor, Doc, what's up, Reverend. You can just be Joe and Dante and have a real conversation, not about church, but about life. And that's where healing begins, when we become friendship. When we become friend. The Bible says that we ought to fellowship. And fellowship, that means that there's more than one fellow in your ship. It takes all of us to do this.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we will be right back after this break, and we'll have Kellie King coming
Yes,
up
that's the better
right
half.
after this.
How this chicken
Hello everyone, it's your girl Coach Kellie from the Coach Kellie Speaks Talk Show. I'm here to talk about my brand new book, the 30-Day, 30-Minute Visionary Journal, Awakening the Finisher Within. I wrote this book because I wanted to inspire other people to be finishers in their own personal journey of business and everyday life. So writing this book has really helped me to organize my thoughts a lot better. And it has also just made me look at things different and not put so much pressure on myself, because before I would try to compile so much information in at one time, but now it has slowed my pace down a lot, and I'm able to really plan things out in a 30-day, in a 30-minute manner. And so I think that now, with different projects that I'm working on, I feel that I'm a little more confident in what it is that I'm doing because I've actually planned it out better. So I hope that people who get this book will have a deeper appreciation for, number one, who they are, what they've been called to, and the people group that they've been called to as well. I also want people to have a clear and step-by-step guide to how to fight against fear and procrastination. I hope that this book will help you to win in each and every level of your life, each and every area of your life. I want this book to change the way you see yourself. When you look yourself in the mirror, that you won't see yourself through the eyes of fear, but that you'll see yourself through the eyes of faith, knowing that you are a finisher and that you will finish each and every project that you put your hands on. I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you, gracias, because without you, I would not be able to do what I do, what I love every day, from styling my clients to the boutique, and now my new show, the Coach Kellie Speaks Talk Show. This has been an exciting journey for me. I'm inspired by each and every last one of your comments, how you share my posts, going on to YouTube, leaving comments, just all of that just warms my heart every time I read it. And so I wanted to just let you know that you can buy my book on my website at www.coachkelliespeaks.net. Thank you again for tuning in, and I love you guys so much. Thanks. Hello everyone, it's your girl Coach Kellie from the Coach Kellie Speaks Talk Show. I'm here to talk about my brand new book, the 30-Day, 30-Minute Visionary Journal, Awakening the Finisher Within. I wrote this book because I wanted to inspire other people to be finishers in their own personal journey of business and everyday life. So writing this book has really helped me to organize my thoughts a lot better. And it has also just made me look at things different and not put so much pressure on myself, because before I would try to compile so much information in at one time, but now it has slowed my pace down a lot, and I'm able to really plan things out in a 30-day, in a 30-minute manner. And so I think that now, with different projects that I'm working on, I feel that I'm a little more confident in what it is that I'm doing because I've actually planned it out better. So I hope that people who get this book will have a deeper appreciation for number one, who they are, what they've been called to, and the people group that they've been called to as well. I also want people to have a clear and step-by-step guide to how to fight against fear and procrastination. I hope that this book will help you to win in each and every level of your life, each and every area of your life. I want this book to change the way you see yourself. When you look yourself in the mirror, that you won't see yourself through the eyes of fear, but that you'll see yourself through the eyes of faith, knowing that you are a finisher and that you will finish each and every project that you put your hands on. I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you, gracias, because without you, I would not be able to do what I do, what I love every day, from styling my clients to the boutique, and now my new show, the Coach Kellie Speaks Talk Show. This has been an exciting journey for me. I'm inspired by each and every last one of your comments, how you share my posts, going on to YouTube, leaving comments, just all of that just warms my heart every time I read it. And so I wanted to just let you know that you can buy my book on my website at www.coachkelliespeaks.net. Thank you again for tuning in, and I love you guys so much. Thanks.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Coach Kellie Speak Show. We have the beautiful Kellie now King on the Coach Kellie Speak Show. Yes, it's live for real.
Like we're on TV.
Yeah, So we are live. So this is our camera over here.
Okay.
In the front. And so, Kim.
Sit up straight. I'm thinking I'm just doing radio.
No, this is TV. So we are live from 135 countries all over the world. And so my first question for Kim is, first of all, thank you for being on the show. You are fabulous.
Thank you.
Your energy is always on point. You're always there. You always have a word. You're awesome, and I honor you so much.
Thank you so much.
So much. So, who is Kellie?
Who is Kellie? Wow. I am. I guess I have many unique faces. I am a minister, and I'm a makeup artist, and I'm a mom, and now a new wife, and a first lady. So God is stretching me, but I'm thankful for it. He wouldn't put more on us than we are able to, endure or to bear. So I am taking on this whole new journey of being a first lady and wife, and I'm really enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, it's awesome. I think that it's wonderful to watch. We've watched your journey, just, you being married now. We watched your wedding, which was fabulous. I mean, we have been really just watching you, and you have been just a virtual example of a woman of God, just
Thank you.
On all of these social media platforms. And so what is it like in a day with how's your day? Like what do you do? Like, because it's like you do so much. Like, how do you maintain all of that?
Well, I think the first thing is I get up really early. One of my mantras is that you must. What are you saying?
Just look at the camera every now and then.
Okay. One of my mantras is I get up very early, and so what I try to do is I actually always do is I pray really early, and that helps to center me. I spend a lot of time in devotion, so in doing that, it helps me to kind of focus on what is important for the day and what I should be kind of zeroing in on. And then I actually really rely on my phone a lot because I do a lot of scheduling and planning. And although I have an assistant, it's still important to me to be able to balance everything. So I always tell people, if you got a smartphone, be smart and use it. And you have an opportunity to be able to, you can email, you can text, you can write notes to yourself and utilize your calendar. So our smartphones are really a very integral part of our lives. So I really rely on that. And what I try to do is to write goals for myself for the day, whether it be personal or business or spiritual. I think that's, very important. And so with personal, I'll just give you an example. So my personal goal for the day might be for me to walk 30 minutes, to perhaps, get my hair shampooed and, and things like that. And then maybe spiritual, it might be to read a particular book in the Word, to study a certain amount of time. And then professionally, it might be to make sure I email all my clients back. And so in doing that, I always tell people, when you're trying to run a business, you have to work in the business and then, of course, for the business. So that's a part of my life. And the same holds true even for ministry. You're out in front of the people, but you also have to work on you so that you are able to be out in front of the people. And even with makeup, it's important that you are, studying your craft before you go out in front of the people. So that is an opportunity for me. So every day I'm doing something. And I always tell people, when you are working on growing a business or a ministry or whatever, you have to work in it. You have to, every day there's something to do. There really is no lag time because we are really depending and relying on the gifts that God has given us, and we have to make sure that we're utilizing that time in a good way. So that's what I do. I just kind of do that first, and then I start my day off, and then of course it takes me 4 hours to get ready. No, I'm just kidding. But I've actually just kind of tried to map out my day. A lot of times I have to change clothes 2 or 3 times a day, so I have to map out. And I know that sounds really very vain, and it's not. It's just that with you doing so many things every single day, I have to map out my outfits because now we're on social media and we're in front of the cameras. Like, I didn't know we were going to be on TV today. I would have worn something different. I would have worn a different jacket, but so you have to map out your outfits for the day. And so I have to do that as well. So there are a lot of little things that my day is it's busy. I do more before 8 than most people do all day. That's really very true.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Wink and Pout. Tell us about that project.
Oh my God, Wink and Pout is my baby. Oh goodness, the phones aren't off. See, I'm just so ill prepared. Okay, so yeah, Wink and Pout is my baby. It is one of those things that God gave me that has just really grown. So many branches to Wink and Pout. So we have Wink and Pout, my staff, and then I have Wink and Pout Academy, which is upcoming makeup artists or current makeup artists who are being coached by me. And then I have Wink and Pout products. And so now people can take a piece of Kim everywhere and just live it and wear it and just be beautiful and fabulous in all aspects of the word. So I really love Wink and Pout. It really represents the everyday woman. It is, my mantra is wink and pout because you can. Everyone can wink and everyone can pout. And in pouting, not in a bad way. Pouting, of course, in a good way where you can just poke those lips out and be cute. And so, yeah, and it's an encouraging thing for women because I want women to feel like, they can do what they see celebrities do or people that they admire from afar that they feel like they can't, get to. Wink and Pout is that opportunity, whether you're buying the makeup or you're experiencing a makeup session with one of our beauty experts or myself, or if you're part of the academy, it is an experience. It's a full experience, and so that's really what Wink and Pout is all about.
Can you tell us your website?
Yeah, so we have Wink and Pout by KimLee.com, and that's spelled with a Y, Kymlee, so Wink and Pout by KimLee.com. From there, you can go to the academy, or you can book an appointment, and you can, just enjoy what we are doing as a team, and just kind of see that, makeup is more than just the art, it's a lifestyle.
Wow, awesome. I went on the website and I asked Max, our engineer, to bring up the website so everyone can see this fabulous website where you can go and register for the academy. You can purchase products. You can see Kim's amazing story, her testimony, just everything about her. She is she's awesome. She's awesome. I mean, I always tell everyone that she's awesome. She was one of the first people who ever said branding to me. I didn't even know what branding was until I met her at a photo shoot. And so I just think that you are one of those people who everyone is watching. You know, not to put pressure on you, but we watch you. You are have always been an industry leader, you know, and just amazing woman of God. We all know that, you know, being in your presence, we're in the presence of a woman of God. And it has been just amazing just to watch your journey just over the years. I want to ask you, what has been your most challenging projects you ever had to do?
I think my most challenging project was probably the first time I ever shot a movie. And it was because I was totally and completely, I felt incompetent. And I'm just going to be honest. And I don't know how many people are watching this have ever felt incompetent. I think that's all of us. I think we've all felt like we just didn't have enough money, enough ability, enough, you know, wherewithal. We just didn't have the product we needed or whatever to accomplish the end goal. And so I felt completely and totally incompetent. And when I tell you, I learned God in a way I've never learned him before, being in a foreign country, shooting a movie for 3.5 months with no family, no friends, and no resources. Everything that I knew to be was not there. So there were no stores that I was familiar with. Even down to the food we ate. The food was just different. You know, at some point in life when you're going through a time when you feel like you're out of place or you don't know something, you always result or you rest in something that you do know. So in other words, like, you know how people go through a rough time and they eat because food is comfort. There was no comfort in that place. There was no food that I recognized. Even the labels, like, they didn't even have Heinz ketchup. Like, I went to the grocery store one day and I was thinking, all I wanted some fries with some Heinz ketchup, and I just couldn't even get that. And so it was just one of those places where I felt very, very much in the wilderness. And God really showed himself strong in that time, and he really allowed me to really trust in him. And I was able to persevere through it. And it was, you know, it was just it was not just physical, it was just everything around me was crazy. It was fly infested, it was mosquito infested, it was hot one day, 80 degrees, the next day it would be 20, because we were at the apex of Canada in a country called Nova Scotia. So it was just a place I was just not familiar with, and I really felt like my bearing wasn't straight. And I praise God for my aunt, Angie, who was, I call her my spiritual coach. I think all of us need a coach, right? And so she was my coach through that process. And every day I would say, what should I be praying today? And she literally would say, today the Lord is telling me that you need to pray for safety, or you need to pray for your health, or you need to pray for your son back at home, or you need to pray for your ministry. Like, it was just something every day she gave me specifically with word with it. And it was just so every one of us sometimes, because we don't always know what plays to play. And so you need someone to be your eyes and ears for you. You know, I'm going to say this really quickly. Even with basketball players, they don't always have a coach. They always have a coach coaching them, even though they have the ability, but they need a coach to guide them. And that's what she was for me. God used her. Yeah.
Powerful, powerful, powerful. We're going to come back after this commercial with the Bishop, Dante King. He's going to come up and we're going to do a quick panel discussion. We'll be right back.
Hello everyone, it's your girl Coach Kellie from the Coach Kellie Speaks Talk Show. I'm here to talk about my brand new book, the 30-Day, 30-Minute Visionary Journal, Awakening the Finisher Within. I wrote this book because I wanted to inspire other people to be finishers in their own personal journey of business and everyday life. So writing this book has really helped me to organize my thoughts a lot better. And it has also just made me look at things different and not put so much pressure on myself, because before I would try to compile so much information in at one time, but now it has slowed my pace down a lot, and I'm able to really plan things out in a 30-day, in a 30-minute manner. And so I think that now, you know, with different projects that I'm working on, I feel that I'm a little more confident in what it is that I'm doing because I've actually planned it out better. So I hope that people who get this book will have a deeper appreciation for, number one, who they are, what they've been called to, and the people group that they've been called to as well. I also want people to have a clear and step-by-step guide to how to fight against fear and procrastination. I hope that this book will help you to win in each and every level of your life, each and every area of your life. I want this book to change the way you see yourself. When you look yourself in the mirror, that you won't see yourself through the eyes of fear, but that you'll see yourself through the eyes of faith, knowing that you are a finisher and that you will finish each and every project that you put your hands on. I just wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you, gracias, because without you, I would not be able to do what I do, what I love every day, from styling my clients to the boutique, and now my new show, the Coach Kellie Speaks Talk Show. This has been an exciting journey for me. I'm inspired by each and every last one of your comments, how you share my posts, going on to YouTube, leaving comments, just all of that just warms my heart every time I read it. And so I wanted to just let you know that you can buy my book on my website at www.coachkelliespeaks.net. Thank you again for tuning in, and I love you guys so much. Thanks.
Welcome back, everyone. We are here live at Listen Vision with the Kings.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Meet the
This
Kings.
First Lady, Kim Lee King. I'm so excited. I'm just really, I was already nervous. I had my best friend to pray for me along the way. I'm like, listen, I need you to pray because I'm so nervous. And I know that it's a matter of honor, because I truly honor people, and I honor people that's walking in purpose. And when you're walking in purpose, it's not easy. You constantly having those daggers and people and and just different things that's constantly telling you that you're not it. And how do you deal with all of the nuances that come your way? Because you live your relationship, you live your life in the public. How do you deal with that?
One thing about us is that we understand that our social media is public, but our life is private. And so we post things that we want you to see to encourage couples, to encourage you in your relationship. We have a great private life that we don't share with everyone. There's moments we get away and we slip away. We have to make a conscious effort.
Like today,
to have those moments. I was actually at Howard doing some work, and my wife was here. So she said, look, let's meet here today. So we always make that moment to just enjoy each other. We have a little thing we hashtag each other. It's called Team Us. It's Team Us, and we make it work like that.
Yeah. And so how do you, just in ministry, walking together in ministry, what is it, because you are partners, how do you separate the partnership, the ministry, and this keep something for you guys outside of everything?
I think you answer that better than me. You're more centered and focused than me.
Ministry is ministry, and it's never our job to be married to the church. As a matter of fact, Christ said the church is his bride. So if I'm actually in love with his church, then I'm committing adultery with what's his.
Wow.
And God don't want to cheat with me with his church. And so the church belongs to him. That's his responsibility. That's what he's going to do. So it's our job just to feed the people, but not to fall in love with the people. We have relationships with the people, but we realize that those are God's people. And so our personal life is our personal life. Ministry is ministry. Home is home. Business is business. And we just learn how to separate the two. If not, it becomes very, very uncomfortable. And it's not fair for the people if we're trying to do something for them that only God can do.
Wow, that's awesome. So what would you say to a couple that's dating that feel they have a call to ministry on their life?
I can answer that. I think for me, I would tell a couple to always make quality time. And it's always set traditions. Like, I'm really big on traditions, And I always, Pastor thinks I'm a little corny, but I'm very big on tradition. So we do Taco Tuesdays and Fatty Patty Fridays, and those are my turkey burgers, which I make better than him.
I make them better. Hers are the fatty patty, mine's are the fatty patty. So McDonald's.
Right, he copies. And so anyway, we always have like some quality time we spend, and we always try to set traditions because we're a new couple, and so we, want to have something that we look forward to. So tonight is our date night. So what we'll do tonight is we will, just kind of rehash everything that happened over the last week, and some goals that we want to accomplish this week, and that helps us.
Can't tell them everything. The children are watching.
Oh.
But on date night.
Oh. No, we got a date night.
So how do you keep because this is one of the things that I get a lot of times in relationships. How do you keep folks out?
Keep them out.
You said boundaries.
Yeah.
Everything has to have a boundary. This is a line that you cannot cross. You keep folks out of your business on purpose. And you have boundaries lines that people can't cross, and it's a violation. And the two of us have determined that this is us, and no one can interfere with that.
Yeah, Kim, you have anything?
No, I think I definitely agree with him. And my previous home that I had was a community house. Literally, like everybody, my husband would tease me. Everybody, all my friends, my family, everybody. My home was a community home, and in some aspects, I wish our new house were that way. But I realized that in order for me to build this new relationship with Pastor King, with Dante King, with Dante, because he has all these, different sides of him too, I have to put those walls and barriers up. So we, our first, it's almost kind of like when you have a baby, the old folks say don't take them out for 6 weeks or 8 weeks. So we kind of in that incubation stage where we're kind of in the house. We don't have a lot of company. And it's not that we're being standoffish, but we have to get to know one another. I have to be able to kind of know, what he likes and what he doesn't like, and what he's comfortable with and what he's not comfortable with. And unfortunately, I don't want to use him as a guinea pig, or use one of my friends as a guinea pig to upset him. Like if he don't want company, or if he feels like he needs to kind of debrief from, because he's preached all week, I'm very sensitive to that. So we have very minimal company.
Yeah, and same thing with her. I realized that her time is valuable and precious, so I just don't violate that with things I want to do. The Bible says dwell with your wife according to knowledge, and so I know my wife, and I know when she's sad enough and when she doesn't want to be bothered with as well. So we make those things work together and blend it together.
No more Sports Center. I don't want to be bothered.
For the devil is a liar. I bind that spirit in Jesus' name.
Well, this has been an amazing show. We have to have them back on. I just feel like we're going to have to do a replay on this, a part two with the King.
The sequel.
Sequel. Talk about their up and coming book and just what's next. And but I'm just so excited. I keep saying it because I'm like a kid in a candy store right now. God is just doing some amazing things, and I'm just so excited to just be a part of greatness. And so I think that's it, and we'll see you on next week. Next week, we're going to be talking about mental health. As May is all about mental health, and so we're going to have some specialists on the show next week, grief counselors, things of that sort. But thank you again, Kings, for
so
being a part of Coach Kellie
Thank you.
Speak Show. Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Bye.
everybody. It's your girl, Coach Kelly, and I wanted to say thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It has been amazing. You guys following my journey, the show, social media, just emails, everything. It has been amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't say thank you enough. Love you so much. And here's a look back from last week's show.
The first thing we wanted to do was get a federal government job, and so that's what I did. And then I just got into, I had children, had a husband, had responsibilities and obligations, and so I just got focused. I just got into that hustle of getting that next promotion. So I would go to work real hard, because I was banking on the next promotion, and I got it, and that's what I did.
And so I always loved to dance, so that's when I correlated the two. And I said, you know what, it's time for me to put my passion into work and to kind of move forward with what I really love to do. And then Leela Bell just always rung a bell in my head.
Wasn't that amazing? If you missed it, don't worry. You can catch the replay at www.coachkelly.net. Also, subscribe to our YouTube channel at Coach Kelly Speaks. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Coach Kelly Speaks. We'll see you soon.